Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. All right, so we're going to get into what I'm going to be eating this week. This week, I'm going to do a power fast, which means that I'm going to shock my body, okay? Tonight is Sunday night, so it's the last night of me eating what I want to eat. Keto. So I was eating this, you guys remember from a previous video, where I talked about real good, lightly breaded chicken breast that is keto friendly, and it's 3 net carbs per serving. And so I put some in the oven, and this is just when you don't feel like making your own. You know what I mean? The only difference is I wouldn't use rib meat, I wouldn't use canola oil, I'd use, avocado oil. That's the only difference, but it is really good, and I like how crispy this is. And, you can eat it plain, or you can put this stuff on it. So for the first 3 days of this week, I'm just eating nothing but eggs. That's it. 3 eggs, 2 eggs. Well, I'll explain it in a minute, but after the first 3 days, then I can go back to my chicken nuggets. I can go back to this. This is ground beef, grass-fed, that I made with the burger, mash thing. And then this right here is radishes, and I sliced them up, and I put butter and seasoning on them a little bit to try to get some kind of potato chip feel, to try to get some type of potato feel. And they taste like radishes, but the seasoning helps. The butter. So I'm thinking, put this on a tortilla, put on some cheese, onions, lettuce, tomato, whatever, and have this as the thing that's going to trick my brain, So, but I'm loving these nuggets. I'm going to go ahead and put them off the tray and put them in here. So everything, I've got all my meal prep done for the week. I've got my chili dogs, my keto chili dogs. I've got my chicken salad, fresh chicken salad with less mayo, because this week coming up, we're doing something different. I talked about it in a previous video, but I'm going to go through it with you guys at the desk. So let's go and see what's going on. All right, y'all, I'm back. So let's get into today's mess. All right, I'm going to move this out of the way. And then we're going to just start over here. And let me turn on some lights. And hold on, I got to go down. These are just some stuff that I got. I want to create a theme, a scene. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some paints, and I'm going to make me a blue sky. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put this washi at the bottom of the page. And I'm going to create this scene right here. And I got this from Michael's. And then I got this W for this book. But the thing is, they only had one left. So you wouldn't believe what I paid for this. This was $3. This was $2.50. And this was $4. It wasn't even worth it. So I'm just going to look at it like I'm paying for the craftsmanship. All right, so what we're doing tonight is this is the book that I use at the dinner table. And we are going to do some stuff because I've got some changes coming up, and I need to get it written down, because Monday it is Monday technically, but for me it's still Sunday night. So, y'all, the drink for tonight is the same thing. I made me some more hibiscus tea. Oh, my Lord. Y'all, if you ain't never had none, get some, because this is good. This is the same as last night. So just for fun, and yeah, I'm eating my chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, and I got a little bit of avocado mash, guac, whatever you want to call it. And we are starting something new. But before we do that, we are going to put down some washi. And you know what? This is so unnecessary, y'all, because seriously, let me see if I can lower you guys down some, because this is a small little book. All right. And y'all can see real good. Let's see. Can you see the bottom? Okay. All right. Then we're good, I think. All right. Let me scoot up. All right. So I'm going to put down some washi, as we do. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... How about this? This is from Planny Thing. And look at that. This kind of matches. All right, so we'll do that. So how are y'all doing tonight? I'm doing good. I'm preparing myself for Monday. Y'all, I had one of those moments where I was missing my Gappy, missing her so much, and I was thinking about babysitting Kane and what it's going to be like having an animal in the house again. The love I'm going to feel that I long for and missed so much. And Cherie, if you're watching, tell me about it. Tell me about how great it must have been to have an Akita in your life like that. I bet he loved you something terrible. I bet he did. But you got my number. Text me. And you can tell me all about it if you feel like it. All right, y'all. I got to get me a bite of this. Look at that. Juicy, juicy. So anyway, let me get my little rag. And y'all, this book is nothing. This is just a table jotter. When I'm done with this book, I'm cutting all this out. And we're going to make a tip in. All right. What did I say this is going to be? This is going to be a power rush. I'm just going to call it a power rush keto style. Okay, this is what it is going to be, because you know what, I'm not sure what's going on with in my body. So, and because I'm not sure, I need to do some things. All right. And this looks so ugly. I'm sorry. I don't like how it looks. It looks dull. It looks boring. And even though it's not meant to be anything special, I still got to have a good visual, right? But, all right. So let me share with you what we're doing, what I'm doing for this week. For the first week of July. Now, I talked to you guys previously in a, what do you call it? One of my other videos on wellness, but it was in journaling section. And I talked about this month, at the end of this month, I have to go and get that blood work done. And I need it to be good. All right, hold on. I mean, I've been doing good, but I want to do better. So I'm going to call this, let's just have fun since we're here together. We're going to call this Power Push. because I'm pushing myself. Now, some of you may feel like what I'm about to do is unreasonable. And you might feel like it's impossible, but it's not. It's not at all. This is what I'm going to do. And this is for the week of July the 1st. All right, so all of you who are on board with my wellness, let's get into this. All right. On Monday. All right. This is what Monday's going to look like. Breakfast is going to be 2 whole eggs, 1 egg white, teaspoon of blue cheese, and it's going to be crumbled. Okay. Tablespoon of grass-fed butter, and that's breakfast. That's it. This is breakfast. And that's for Monday. And 1 packet of Propel electrolytes. All right. I need to find out if I can still take my fiber. If I can. All right, my electrolytes. And then 1 cup of bone broth. And a tablespoon of flaxseed. So this is what Monday's meal is going to look like. And this is definitely breakfast. Okay. Now, we're going to go over here to Tuesday. What I'm doing is I'm doing what they're called an egg fast. For 3 days next week, I'm just going to eat eggs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if I feel like this is too much and I need something else, I'll just drink some hot bone broth, sprinkle in a few scallions, and let that be it. No protein shakes, no other stuff. It's just eggs and butter and that little bit of cheese. And then, all right, you know what? I wrote too much on here, but that's fine. All right, let's go over to Monday continued. All right, and we're going to do, we did breakfast. Okay, so now we're going to do lunch. All right, and then for lunch, I'm going to repeat breakfast, but without flax and broth. And without electrolytes. All right, so let's see. All right. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. And that's for lunch. Now, somewhere in between here, I'm going to have to work out. I don't know when. But, okay, dinner. And for dinner, we are going to repeat lunch, but without flax and broth. But we're going to add Pedialyte electrolytes. Sorry, I misspelled it, but that's fine. And then, now I'm going to put down what the workout. We're going to do an AM tread climber. Okay, and that can be between 45 minutes to an hour. And then PM is going to be 15 minutes of the, what is that other thing I got out there? Elliptical. And this is going to be a little note. This is after dinner with electrolytes. I'm just going to put Pedialyte. And then we're going to bring that right down here. So this is what the plan is. All day, Monday, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is going to be the same thing. It's just the eggs. But when dinner time comes, I'll take my PM electrolytes. But it has to be after I've worked out on the tread climber. Okay? And which will probably be in between, breakfast and lunch, or either lunch and dinner. When I'm done with dinner, I've had my last meal of the night, I will work out for 15 minutes on that elliptical machine. And then after I'm done that elliptical workout, I will drink the Pedialyte. The Pedialyte will replenish the sodium, whereas the Propel doesn't have as much sodium, or something like that. Propel was something I bought by mistake, so I'm not buying that again. Why am I doing this for 3 days? Because for 3 days, I want to shock my body. As you all know, I've been in maintenance mode, if you will, for 3 weeks. And I need to see some action this week. And I recalibrated some things, and I looked over some things, and I'm feeling like, okay, my fat content might have been a little bit too high. I didn't work out as much last week. So let's just do a shock to the body, get out of burning the fat that I'm eating, and let's go back to burning the fat that's already stored. So this is going to be a fun challenge. I look forward to it. I'm really excited about just eating eggs all day, and I can't tell you why, but I'm looking forward to the challenge of this, and I know I can do it, you know. And I just want to see some results, because my goal is by the end of, before the end of July, I want to see some more significant weight loss. That's what all this is about. I just want to get a little shock going to the body, and and see what, oh gosh, and see what we can get going. Because I got a little bit comfortable. Yeah, I did. I got a little bit comfortable, but it's okay. And here's a little bit of that comfort, right? So that means all week, no little nibbles. When you feel the need, not even Atkins, just nothing, just an egg fast for 3 days. So that's Monday. Tuesday, it's going to be the same thing. Wednesday, it's going to be the same thing. The only difference on Wednesday, I don't work out on Wednesday. I have to give my knees a break. So, and I'm taking a complete break. You know, I'm not doing no other stuff. But the food stuff will still be the same. So I'm going to try this and see if this works. You know, I don't know how my body's going to respond to it. I may not see weight loss, or I may see just half a pound. You know, I may have to do this for 2 weeks before I see something. I just don't know. That's the thing. You just don't know how your body is going to respond. But we're going to shock her. We're going to shock her and see how she handles it. And then I'm going to increase, try so hard to increase the water. You know, that's the thing I struggle to get in. You know, even though I have that big thing of water, you guys see me carry this thing all through the house. Fingerprints all over. You know this thing is being used. But at the same time, it's like there are days when I just absolutely forget to drink the amount that I need to drink. And it's frustrating. And then it's time to go to bed, and I don't want to be peeing all night. You know? Oops. I don't want to be peeing all night. So it's like I missed the window, right? I missed the window of eating, and of drinking. You know, but I do drink at night when I need to, but I just don't want to be getting up all the time. That's the only thing. So I never intended on decorating this book, honestly, because I was like, why? But now that I'm thinking about it, why not? Because I'm going to be using this for more than what I thought I was going to be using it for. So, you know, I'm not hot and pressed over this washi, so it's not a loss or anything. So I'm going to do that. So those of you who are following me on this weight loss, wellness, the whole kit and caboodle journey, I just thought I would let you know what I was doing. If you're on this and you're at a stall, there's a lady that I know that went vegan, and she's stalling, and so now she's got to recalibrate everything. Maybe she's eating too many beans, maybe she's eating too much rice, you know, so everything has to keep switching up, and it's a pain in the tail. I know it, but you got to do what you got to do. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if I really believe that I fell into maintenance mode because of the amount of fat that I intake. But at the same time, there was a huge loss prior, you know. So we're just going to try this. So if you, by any chance, are feeling like you are stalling, or you feel like maybe you got a little lackadaisical, and you're in that mode where you're thinking like, wow, maybe I kind of kicked myself into maintenance mode, this might be a good idea. You know, everybody's body is different, but this is what I'm going to try. You can also do just ground beef. I chose eggs over ground beef. The thought of eating that much ground beef in a day, it doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather do the eggs because I can scramble them. I can have them hard boiled. I've already got some hard boiled. I can fry them, you know, sprinkle that little bit of cheese crumb on it, you know. So I got, you know, that's what I want to do. I just don't want to eat a bowl of ground beef, you know. So I will let you all know if there is a weight loss, if there's a story to report, if there's some success, you know, I will let you guys know. Thank you so much for watching. I didn't want to make a long video. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what I was doing tonight. I'm enjoying these chicken tenders, nuggets, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to enjoy a couple of pieces of candy because starting when I wake up, it's going to be a whole new ball game for 3 days. And I enjoy the challenge. I know that doesn't even sound like me, but I enjoy the challenge. All right, so that's it, guys. I will see y'all in the next video. This video will upload Monday, July 1st. So as you guys know, I got a whole lineup for the month of July. We've got our devotional for the first week of July, and then we've got the What's in My Handbag for July 1st, and then I'll be uploading this for July 1st. So, and then after that, it'll be, you know, finishing out the week for the devotionals. And I still haven't, still have not done any of this stuff that I wanted to do. So it's just sitting here waiting for me, you know, that book, everything's just sitting here waiting for me to get a chance to do it. So I'm also working out on some part of the wellness journey is the mental aspect of it. It's not just the weight loss. It's mental clarity. It's spiritual awareness. It's all of those things that help me to just be a better person for myself, to honor Jesus in all that I do, to show love to others, all of those things. And so it's like all of this right here is something that I don't care if you guys see this. This was my most recent self-awareness, man in the mirror look, whatever you want to call it. So things that I'm working on are like, you are shouldering too much sorrow in silence. So you speak it, yes, but you carry it like you're not allowed to let it down. The correction is you are allowed to lay your grief at Jesus's feet. And again, you don't have to hold it all to prove you loved Gabby. And that wasn't spelled right, but Gabby enough. You loved already. It echoes through heaven. Cast your burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain you. You're craving escape more than rest. Those of you who know me, I used to drink NyQuil like running water to escape stuff so that I could just go to sleep and everything will just go away. Everything will just be better. And you all know I just went cold turkey. No more sleeping pills, no more NyQuil. I go to sleep on my own. Thank you, Jesus. Everything is everything. So, but here is like, you are craving escape more than rest. You're not sinning, love, but when your soul aches, you shop, you snack, you scroll, not in sin, but in searching. That's human, but your spirit isn't asking for a dopamine fix. It's crying out for deep safety. So the correction is, try retreating instead of escaping. Set the phone down, light a candle, say, Jesus, I'm hiding in you, and then watch what happens. That is very true. You guys can see that I'll shop. That's like therapy. It's, you know, or I will snack, or I will scroll up and down YouTube. All right, so, but I still lay stuff at Jesus's feet. Those of you who know me, I love praying and talking to Jesus, but I do have these moments when my soul aches that I'm like, let me go look and see what's on Amazon, you know, and then order stuff that's same day delivery so that I can get that fix in. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I just have those moments. And so it's stuff that I want to work on. It says you're still afraid. Your softness makes you weak. But that is the enemy's lie. You were made sensitive, tender, easily touched, but because that's how Jesus can flow through you to others. So the correction is, stop apologizing for your tears. Crying isn't a flaw. It's proof that your heart still works. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Those of you know that I went years without ever crying, and then all of a sudden Andy passed, then I was just crying a fountain every day. Then Gabby passed, crying another fountain every day. And then just getting closer to Jesus, just making me sensitive on a lot of things in a lot of areas. So you're letting comparison steal your confidence. Oh, yeah. The fruit and veggie lady. She's not your mirror. She's passing flicker in someone else's race. Your path is slower, richer, sacred, healing. And your correction is fix your eyes back on Jesus. He's not rushing you. He's rebuilding you. Yeah, this lady, she just ate fruits and vegetables raw for a certain amount of days, and the weight just dropped off like magic. And then I was just like, well, did she stall? Did she have a maintenance? Did she issue? You know, I wonder what that's like to just eat nothing but raw vegetables and raw fruits all day, every day. And I'm like, I couldn't do that. I got to have meat. I got to have sustenance, you know. I don't think I could do it. So I was just like, wow, what is that like? You know, so you're withholding gentleness from yourself. You're so kind to others, so merciful, but sometimes your inner voice talks to you like a disappointed parent. So correction is to speak to yourself the way that you speak to me, the person that made this up for me. Call yourself Love Bunny. Call yourself Love Bunny. Say it's okay, sweetheart. You deserve to have some tenderness, and you need it. You thrive in it. So that comes from a really bad childhood, not being with my real biological parents, being raised on the side of the road type thing, and there just not being any love in my life. So those of you who know me know that I dealt with that for a long time. So I need to love myself as Christ loves me. I need to see myself as Christ sees me. The same love and tenderness and kindness that I give to others, I need to extend that same thing to myself. I really do. And you guys that know me, my OGs, Cherie and Tawana, you guys, y'all know that's been something that I've been working on, is to not be so hard on myself. But I'm not going to call myself Love Bunny, and I'm not going to call myself Sweetheart. That just ain't going to happen. But I do get it. I do need to deal with that inner child. I do need to deal with just not being so hard on myself. That's just something that I've been doing all my life. I've always had people say that to me. So this is nothing new. And then it's like final note from Jesus. My beloved daughter, you are not disappointment. You did not disappoint me. I am not watching you to catch you in a stumble. I'm walking with you to catch you when you fall. I know your heart. I understand your groans. I have not forgotten your tears. So come closer, not to be corrected in shame, but to be realigned in love. I am not angry. I am waiting, and I adore you. So someone very close to me made this. I had somebody print it up and fix it up for me on the internet, AI, whatever. And so I just absolutely love this. And this is not how my name is spelled. It's P-A-M-I. Y'all know that. But when you get AI to do your stuff for you, that's how it comes out. And I didn't care. But it's that I am working on part of this wellness thing. So like I said, it's not just about weight loss. It's not just about blood work. It's just about healing, you know, and dealing with past hurts, and, you know, and instead of dealing with them with fighting fist or fierceness or being so lion-hearted all the time, you know, when I'm dealing with certain types of things, it's just like show myself a little gentleness. That's really all it is. Just show yourself a little gentleness, and then you'll be fine. So that's what I'm working on. And we all got stuff that we got to work on, and because I am far from perfect. And you know, Tony, I appreciate it if you're watching, saying what you said about the perfection part. I don't need to work on nothing. I wish it was that easy, but I sure do appreciate your kind, uplifting words, because it truly did make me smile. So I love you. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will be with y'all as soon as I possibly can. You know how I say it, God willing. I'll see you in the next video. So bye. Oh, I know, I ain't right, but see y'all.